From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Is it partisan warfare, or is it just the season of congressional investigation of the Trump White House? Yesterday, the House Judiciary Committee launched a sweeping new probe of the president, President Trump, his White House, his campaigns, and his businesses. I guess maybe campaigns, definitely the campaign he had, and maybe the campaign that he may or may not be in the middle of right now. I don't know. And they're sending document requests to 81 people linked to the president and his associates. The document request has ruffled some feathers, to say the least, and put the White House on the defensive. Now, if the administration doesn't want to turn the documents over, they could be subpoenaed. Like it or not, those documents are getting taken from your hands. The House of Representatives are conducting oversight of the executive branch, which is their constitutional duty. The investigation is under the leadership of Jerry Nadler, and he is probing allegations of obstruction of justice and public corruption. Which makes me wonder, is private corruption okay? But if you have your corruption out in public, it's basically, I don't know. I'm not an expert. The investigation essentially runs the gambit of everything ever that you have ever heard that might or might not have happened inside of the Trump administration. Are these the beginnings of an impeachment hearing? Who knows? Will the voters ultimately decide, or is Congress going to decide to take out the president? Because either they could vote him out in 2020, or Congress could, end his term early. Remember, I just miss it. The old days. You know the old days. The news cycle would go days running on something like Michelle Obama's bangs. It would be a super scandal. Those bangs are naughty. Is it just me, or are we all just having outrage fatigue? There are so many Trump scandals, it is simply exhausting. I'm too tired to handle it. One newsman can't do it. There's got to be other options for news. I need days off, more days off. I can only do this at most 2 days a week. Think about it. The Beghazi investigations, you know that one? That was a multi-year investigation investigating 1 day of the Obama administration, essentially. Now that was a Republican-led House, and it was investigating that tirelessly for years, one issue. Now here we have like 200 scandals. No, I didn't count it, but you know it's closer than 200 than any other number that you could imagine. And we can't even digest those. And now we're going to be investigating them all? It's basically like every day of the presidency for the past 2 years is under investigation. That's like over 600 Benghazis. Do we really just want to close our eyes and close our ears and tune it all out until it's over? Of course we do. That's what I want to do. I just hope and pray that the guardrails of justice and democracy can still stand when I wake up from this goddamn nightmare. Is there a rule of law in this country, or does one strange man rampaging through all of it with his chaos debilitate the whole basic standard of our country because it's too much of a headache to figure out? Is it? That was a question! Sorry, I had to gather myself. Next story. Is Fox News state-run TV? I mean, I know we've always thought that for years, right? But it was always in a wink, wink, nod, nod kind of way. Well, the New Yorker magazine has an awfully disturbing new article that takes a deep dive into that very question. The article claims that Fox is acting as a force multiplier for Trump, solidifying his hold over the Republican Party and intensifying his support. It's kind of like global warming feeding these hurricanes into catastrophically large ones. Now, Fox is not just taking the temperature of the base, it's raising the temperature of the base. The White House and Fox interact so seamlessly that it can be hard to determine sometimes during a news cycle which one is following the other's lead. It's the Ouroboros of insanity. Sarah Sanders has stopped holding press briefings, yet makes appearances on Fox News. Her press releases, her press meetings have been replaced by Fox News appearances. Think about that. It's a major turning point in the propaganda relationship, and it came last year in July 2018 of Bill Shine, the former co-president of Fox News, He was hired as the Director of Communications and Deputy Chief of Staff at the White House. Huh. In fact, there is even a payroll overlap. Financial disclosure forms have revealed that Fox has been paying Schein millions of dollars since he joined the administration. Is he working 2 jobs? I mean, that's the new gig economy in America, right? Some people got to do Uber and work at Burger King. This guy's got to work for the administration and Fox News to make ends meet. Sean Hannity has told colleagues that he speaks to the president virtually every night. Now, I don't know if he means virtually as in pretty much in a reality every night, or he puts on VR and they go into a chat room. I'm not sure. But after his show ends, it happens at 10 p.m. precisely. According to the Washington Post, White House advisors have taken to calling Hannity the shadow chief of staff. Hannity has essentially become a West Wing advisor. West Wing as in television. Trump is said to have even ranked the loyalty of each and every Fox News host. Perhaps most shocking is that in October of 2016, a Fox reporter had evidence to report of the Stormy Daniels story, and she was stopped from exposing it. When the matter went to the top of the network, the reason was that they didn't want to put anything out there that would have a negative light on Trump. Huh. Collusion. So it's basically official. Fox News is Trump's propaganda network, going to bat for him day in and day out, defending his agenda, supporting and praising the dear leader, and making a buck while doing it. The federal budget deficit has ballooned rapidly in the first 4 months of the fiscal year amid falling tax revenue and higher spending. Yep, thanks to those Trump tax cuts. The deficit grew 77% in the first 4 months of the fiscal year 2019, comparing that to the same period 1 year before. That's what Treasury said. I trust Treasury, because if we can't trust Treasury, then fire them all and hire some new ones, because the Treasury is the people who are supposed to have, keep track of those things. Now, Trump has largely pushed for an agenda of tax cuts and spending increases, and that's grown the deficit markedly. Gee. I'm having what is that called? It's a memory. It's something of the past. So we call that history. In history, didn't Trump put a bunch of companies into bankruptcy? I can't quite recall. No, he did. And that's what made him such a super great businessman, best businessman. Now, why can't I help but feeling like we've just allowed the monorail salesman to become our president? Monorail? Who said monorail? You said monorail, monorail. The Congressional Budget Office has projected that the deficit this year will reach close to $900 billion because the government spends so much more money than it brings in through revenue. So far, there has been little effort in Congress to reconcile the differences between the two parties, and neither has shown much interest in addressing the widening budget deficit. So what does the Trump administration want to cut to fix the issue? Environmental protection, education, and foreign aid. Wow. The White House and Congress must reach an agreement on a new spending package by September 30th, 2019, or guess what? Guess what would happen? Guess? No, really guess. Yeah, we could face another government shutdown. The federal government is now more than $22 trillion in debt. For context, Senator James Lankford, he's a Republican from Oklahoma, he said if you take 22 trillion miles, that total distance, you would fly from Earth to Pluto and back 3,081 times. Now, if you do the conversion, $1 to 1 mile of space travel, that's a pretty good deal. I think it looks like we're on the up and up.